if you will be given a chance to choose a universe, so what universe would you choose? A universe that full of knowledge but unused, or a universe that full of knowledge but abused?
Okay. So as in the place that we're living in right now, that there's so much hatred and there's so much war and happening at the same time, I would always, and I know that everyone would always choose a word or a universe rather that is unused, because when it's unused, you can always educate people about things. You can always be like a learning, or you're a teacher, a guidance to someone and learning them about or educating them about things. Meanwhile, when it's an abused world or abused universe, that it takes so much time to remove the trauma in people's mind and in their heart, because all they know is hatred. So instead of letting people know about hatred, we can taught everyone how to love and show humility and forgiveness. So a universe that is full of unused things, you can educate people. But with abuse, it takes time to really, cure abuse, or at least get out of it.
I think I would go for a universe full of knowledge and abuse. I know it sounds negative, but if you look at it closely, when you have knowledge, that is power. And when you have that power, you are able to seek solutions and use that as a foundation to resolve these abuses.
That's quite tough because both are a little bit on the negative side, but I guess if I really have to choose, I choose knowledge that is abused. I do think that there is no limit to knowledge.
True.
And as long as we are continuing to pursue knowledge, I think there would be use to it. Even though to some people it may be abusive, it may be going beyond the limits, but who puts a limit on knowledge? Us us people.
I would rather choose a universe full of knowledge but unused, because I still believe that there are a lot of knowledge in this world that needs to be discovered further. And once this would be discovered, a lot of people would really use this for good. A lot of people would really advocate or become allies for it. So I would rather choose that.
Well, this is a tough question, but if I had to choose, I would say knowledge abused, because I believe that knowledge is power and we use it to learn from and grow in our experiences. It's how we know to connect with one another, how we know about each other, and how we can change and adapt to the future that is approaching us. I believe that we always need knowledge in our life, because I know there's a saying, ignorance is bliss, but knowledge really strengthens us and strengthens our future ahead.
If life is short, why do we do so many things we don't like? And why do we like so many things we don't do?
I think if I can rephrase that, for me, I think life is not short. I think for me, life is long, because I live my day-to-day life, or living, doing the best that I can, or doing the things that I'm happy about, serving people, influencing people, loving the individuals that are around me, and appreciating, showing gratefulness. So I think that life is only short when you don't live the moment. If you always procrastinate and think of doing things later than doing it right now. I think that life is long and we should live it that way. And with the life that we have in this universe, we make sure that we create an impact. And in this impact, we try to influence and we try to empower everyone. That's why I said abansi babae. So that's the advocacy about it. Thank you.
I think it's so important to remember that each person is different. We are very complex human beings, and because of our complexity, we tend to do things based on the circumstances in our lives. And we do not have the right to judge each other. What matters is, as we do the things that seems indifferent or negative, it's important to remember the lessons that we have learned from these negative experiences and move forward and get to experience more of the good things instead.
I think that that's the funny thing about people. We are all complex and complicated, and I think we're all just trying to figure it out. We're all living life for the first time. No one knows what's happening in this world, even the old ones. They're all just trying to figure it out and wing it out also. So I do think that we should give it to us humans to forgive ourselves when we don't do things that we actually like to do. Because sometimes we get caught up in all the things that society dictates us to do, or the things that we think are important. But at the end of the day, the things that are important to us are love, community, and belonging. So I do think those are the things that we should focus on.
I really do agree that our life is short, but there are instances that we cannot really live life to the fullest because we are limited by the society, or we are limited by our own capabilities. But we have to keep in mind that when it comes to life, we have to cherish every single moments that we have for it, every moments that we should impart an improvement, a development and something that would really be a remarkable legacy for us in the future.
I feel like those are two opposite ends of a
True.
spectrum. I think we do a lot of things we don't like just to experience it. I think to come out of our comfort zone, my mom always told me, get comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's doing things you don't like because change is inevitable, so you have to be able to adapt to that as well. And in terms of liking a lot of things and not doing that, I think it also comes with the life is short, but also we're so sacred, or we want to savor everything, so we think like, oh, we'll push it off till later, we can always do it, we can always experience it, because we always think that there's time with it, and we just like admiring a lot of things, but we have to have the mindset and the growth to be able to actually experience those things.